For example, if I'm fishing rocks where I may get bit from right against the bank out to 5 or 6 feet, I'm throwing it on 12-pound tactical fluorocarbon because that's going to let that square bill run to its deepest capabilities. And plus, the 12 is strong enough to stand up to the abrasion running across rocks and things like that. But if I'm fishing laydowns or if I'm fishing grass that's not quite as deep, or where you have varying levels of depth, where you may cast your crankbait into 4 feet of water, but a patch of grass comes up to where it's only 2 feet from the surface, I'll throw it on 15 to 17 pound line to keep that bait from running quite so deep. So the bait's only going to run about 3.5 to 4.5 feet deep, and you can control some of that depth with your rod tip. When you make your long cast, if you feel that line coming up to a patch of grass or coming up to a limb, you can raise your rod up in the air, and that will actually lift that crankbait and help it come over that structure better and not get fouled up. So 12 to 15 pound P-line tactical fluorocarbon, 7-foot Fitzgerald square bill rod, 5/4 gear ratio Revo winch reel, and that is my setup. So now let's go talk about the bait. The bait that's become my favorite is a bait from Demiki we released last year. This is the BTC 60 crankbait. It comes in 10 different colors. We've got crawfish colors, your chartreuse colors, and your shad colors. And I've got my box here, and I'm going to go through some of the colors with you later. But starting out, the number one thing that determines the color of the bait I use is the water clarity. And I'm going to break this down by the times of year. So in the springtime, when your fish are more concentrated on crawfish, you know, most of your big pre-spawn largemouth are on rocks, in grass. They're really keying in on that red colored bait. I have 3 different crawfish colors in the lineup, so I'm going to go ahead and dig them out and kind of go through that and break it down with you. So I'm cranking it down, say we're on this big grass flat. Oh, I feel it coming over a patch of grass right there. I'm going to slow my retrieve down, and I'm going to pop it like that. And what that's going to do is, when you slow your retrieve down, it allows that bait to float just a little bit, and when you pop it, the bait will actually kick over sideways. So instead of running down and burying in the grass, when you pause it and let it float up and pop your bait, it's going to kick up on its side and run off to the side for about 1 foot or 2. And you're essentially steering it around that clump of grass that's taller and letting that bait be more effective and fish the whole. Oh, we got one. Look at that. Maybe there is some grass out there. Possibly. I've never seen any grass out here before, but it's as simple as that. That is how I fish my BTC 60 inside the grass lines. That was amazing. Everywhere I go, I need to imagine I'm around grass. That's the key. That is the key. Yes, so we're gonna make another cast out here in our imaginary grass flat, and we're gonna do the same retrieve. We're gonna crank it down, like I said, and we'll try to get some footage of that bait running sideways. So when you stop it, you feel it coming over that grass, pop it up like that, and then I don't wind when I do that. You notice when I popped it up, I just let the rod move the bait. So you're only pulling the bait 1 foot or 2, but it's gonna kick up and run sideways for just 1 foot or so, and then you resume your retrieve till you come to the next clump of grass. And that's gonna help you drive that bait around those clumps of grass, get in every little nook and cranny, and not get fouled up and have to wind your bait in and pick grass off of it because it's running too deep and all that type of stuff. So that's the number 1 grass retrieve. And then, you know, the old favorite.
And the information Bass University provides isn't your basic run-of-the-mill fishing video. This is specific information from A to Z to help you learn, get to the water, and become a better angler quickly.